Okay, so I'm recording some testing to see what pairs might work for these new London sessions that we are going to be doing. So I'm just going to share screen, and I'm going to use the replay mode. So the pair I've picked, I'm on the 5-minute time frame, is Audnzd, because that's an out of session pair. It'll move more slowly in London, and also it's a very slow moving pair, as you can expect, because they're very similar currencies. So it's literally a 2 out of 10. So yellow denotes London. I've drawn these vertical lines. I'm in Paris time, so that would be 9:30 London to 11:30 London. I've drawn the same across each session. This starts further back than that. I did it since about the 4th of April. So I'll try this next week. And I think that was my first one, 1st of April. So I'm going to stay on the 5-minute. I've just put the auto support on. I'll put divergence on. Indicators there. Okay, obviously I don't know what the currency strength meter is. Let me use the replay button. So we'll start at the beginning of Tokyo, and we'll just talk it through what I see happening. Now, obviously I'm not using the 200 EMA. I can put that on this, obviously, which I will do. So we're going to start playing and see what we see. You can read the divergence as we go along. I'm not going to make this a very long video. 31st of March, right, okay. It's just gone back a bit. Just move that to the middle. So here we are coming up to the new day. So we're coming up to 9:30. So I'm using here the 62 moving average now, exponential moving average. Now I don't want to confuse people because we want to stick to our CASHTRAP settings and talk just about that. But I was just wondering if it might help me refine the entry if as we know, London is more volatile, like Les has been testing today. So once it decides what it's doing, you can see we've got our resistance and we've got all that wicking off there. But what you want to do is wait for price to have an open candle in the same direction you want to go once it's under or above the 62. So that open there would be our entry. Now, what I don't know is timing the entry off that. That's the 10, that London time, 10:45 candle down, and then it carries on down to quarter theory. So I think that might have been quite a safe trade and below the 62. And then that could have been our trade for that session on that pair. Because really I only see one trade. I don't know what the currency strength's doing. That's all I see there really that would be safe in London at that time. New day, next day, I've circled where I think the trade is. 9:30 London time. Price is below resistance, below the 62. 10:20, so I would have waited till 10:30. Then you've got that resistance there, so quite a small range. Not sure I would have taken a trade there, but there is a trade there, but it's just past our hour, the 11:30, and that is coming up at 10 to 1 my time, so 10 to midday, and there's the midday candle, quite a strong sell candle below the 62. So you could have at 12:30, we may have had a line of resistance we could have used it, depending on the currency strength meter, for a buy, but didn't do very much at all that we could have probably taken, and it was slightly before the 9:30. Either here at on the 8:15, which is a little bit early for us to be trying to trade it. So that's that one there. Just have to see how we get on, really. We'll come through to the next one. New start of the new week. That's what that gap is there. Above the 62, it says hidden bull carrying on in the upward direction. Hidden bear now, below the 62, coming out of Tokyo. And at 9:30, so just before you get that long drop down. So I would have had to have been on a little bit earlier to have seen that confirmation there and then get in on that one. So it might be worth coming on at 10, like we tried to do, 10 to the hour, 10 minutes before the half hour, because there was a little trade there. It did say hidden bear. Don't know what the currency strength meter said. And then all those wicks off there, so it might have been another trade there that would have been fairly safe, still below the 62. Won't comment on any of this because this is all about trying to trade CASHTRAP in London. Hidden bear and bear below the 62, says bull. And here we are coming up to the 9:30 candle. So we've got above the 62, it's crossed above the 15-minute, strong upward trend, so I expect the currency strength was in our favour. Can't see it off any line of resistance though, so potentially a pullback for a sell from there down to quarter theory. Again, that's 15 minutes before, didn't quite make it up to the top. It is still above the 62 there. So why I highlighted that was to say it's using quarter theory as a support. So this is on the 5 minute, so perhaps we could have taken a trade, but again, it would have meant staying on, that would have been at the 11:45 for a buy. 11:45 for a buy. Hidden bull, that would have worked quite well, I think, but it would have meant it's outside our timing area. Hidden bear below the 62. Hidden bear still there. Drops below the 62, still a hidden bear. Wants to go down, 9:30. So here, again, have to be on that just past the 9 o'clock to catch that down to the 9:30, below the 62, below the resistance. It's on a quarter theory line. Oh, I haven't put quarter theory on the 25s as well. I should do that if I'm doing CASHTRAP, because that gives us the smaller increments. So I think that could have been quite good, but it would have meant being on earlier. And then all this rejection off here, although it is below the 62, but it does now say bull. And there it goes up, starting to go up. So hidden bear. But again, that meant staying on a bit later. And we're just coming up to the last couple of sessions. Bear, it's on the 62, resting on the 62. Not a lot of movement in our session, wouldn't have taken anything there, but it does say bear there, and you've got all this rejection up here, and that's on the 12 o'clock candle where it starts to come down, but you can't take trades there because it's such a tight area between the 62 and that line of resistance. To be safe, you would have had to have waited till that half past to, yeah, about half past candle, and that's the, and there's one at 45 to 50, possibly. Last one today. Hidden bear going down below the 62. Downward trend. It's 9:30. It's 9:30. Wicks down, quite a few wicks there. But it does say hidden bear, so possibly a trade there. Wicks off it again several times. And that's the 15-minute past doji candle with a drop there. So again, sometimes it means getting on a bit earlier or staying on a bit after. And that's up to the current moment in time. That'll stop in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording. I hope that's been helpful.